Today we're going to have a quick video about exploring suspense techniques. What do we look for when we're trying to find suspense in a story? First, we need to look at characters and know that there is a clear hero and a clear villain. It's great for us to be able to rely on who is technically good and who is technically evil in the story. If we can set that up pretty clearly, we can start setting up suspenseful situations around them. The hero is likable and competent, but they usually have a flaw or two. Now, when we look at our hero, we want them to be able to save the day. We do want them to be better than the average person, but we also want them to have a flaw because we, as the readers or viewers, want to be able to connect to them. Because if they're going through suspenseful situations, if we can connect, we can feel that we're going through the same suspenseful situation with them. The hero must also have a powerful motivation. They must be able to have some sort of love interest that they need to go rescue, some sort of community that they need to help along, some sort of object or event that they need to get to go as a goal. And because again, that will set up a suspenseful situation because they're worried about that person. They're worried about not having enough time before a goal is met. So we need to have a powerful motivation in order to set up suspense. Future events can be anticipated through foreshadowing. Now, if we can start anticipating as a reader or as a viewer what's going to happen next in the story, that is called foreshadowing. If we can kind of get those hints and clues, that sets up suspense. We're not 100% sure what's going to happen, but we think this might happen, and that will give us suspenseful thoughts. Timing is extremely important when you consider suspense. We have to be able to follow along with the plot line and the conflicts in the events in order for us to feel that sense of suspense. Remember, the idea of suspense works with time. You're suspending time just enough to get the feelings of we need to accomplish a goal. We need to be motivated to go and save someone. So timing is very important when it comes to suspense. Problems and obstacles are continually added. When we continue looking at a particular story, if we make a goal, if we rescue someone, that particular suspense is over, but we want to add another one in. We don't want to extend our suspense all the way through a 90-minute movie. We don't want to extend our suspenseful situations all the way through a 3 or 4 hour novel. We need to have constant problems and obstacles being added so our suspense comes and goes and comes and goes. Otherwise, it's not going to feel as suspenseful. There are usually unexpected twists, surprises, and cliffhangers, again, because with suspense, it's holding you in the moment. You need to know what's going to happen next. You don't understand. You might be kind of confused. You might be surprised. That's where the suspenseful feeling for the reader or the viewer comes in. We want that unexpected twist or surprise in order to get the feeling of suspense. Now, a story's point of view can maximize the suspense as well. Sometimes we're going to have unreliable narrators who only give us pieces of information when the author feels we need to have them. If we have all of the information given to us at once, it's less suspenseful. The setting can also contribute to the suspense. If we take a look at mystery authors like Stephen King or horror authors like Edgar Allan Poe, they will spend quite a bit of time making very suspenseful, very horror-like situations, so you're not quite sure if you feel safe. You have this tendency of dark and foreboding. The sense of foreshadowing usually comes in along times with the setting, and it doesn't have to be a sense of horror. Sometimes your action movies will do. Michael Bay has a tendency to do this quite a bit with his action sequences in his movies, where the setting, if it's a fantastic situation like a Star Trek scene, he has a tendency to set up a goal with his event and then to use the setting itself. There might be fire or light in the background. When we look at stories with action sequences, we have to plot out the sequence of events. In order for the setting to make sense, you need to have the setting change along with the events. Now, your characters may appear suspicious. Pay attention to them. Sometimes you might not be able to rely on the narrator, and sometimes you might not be able to rely on a character. Sometimes they might be doing something suspicious and foreshadowing that something might be happening to them, and you don't have all the information. So be careful with some of your characters. Some of your minor characters might turn out to be plot points. Pay attention to them. The plot certainly has to contain suspenseful events, specifically if we are thinking of looking at action films, like say if you have car chasing scenes where we're wondering who is going to catch up to who might win the race. The plot might contain suspenseful scenes if we're in the middle of a battle scene, whether or not we're going to win out the day, whether or not we're going to survive or live the day. A lot of times the plot is going to help contain the suspense itself. And then a suspense story involves delay. Now remember, suspense is that suspension of time. And so a lot of times when we take the plot line of events, we have to go from point A to point B to point C. Sometimes we might extend that storyline to delay a few events, to delay an answer or a resolution to the conflict, because that's what the meaning of suspense means. Thanks so much for stopping by today to my channel, guys. If you like this suspenseful video, please leave me a like. Comment on if you'd like to see something else on this channel, and of course, I'd love it if you subscribed. Thanks for stopping by.